Hello, essay writers. I know you all have varying levels of experience in writing essays, so we're just going to start out today talking about the parts of an essay. Um, an essay has three basic parts. You will have an introduction, and if you're going to have an introduction, at some point you're going to have a conclusion. And then what happens in between, those are where your body paragraphs go. That's the body of your essay. So we will be working, at least at first, and perhaps throughout. It will depend on your experience level and what you want to try to do. We're going to be working with a basic 5-paragraph essay structure. Now, if you have a 5-paragraph essay, here's a little math for you. Your first paragraph is your introduction. Your fifth and last paragraph is your conclusion, which means you're going to have 3 body paragraphs in the middle. And that's going to be true of any kind of essay that we write. You're always going to introduce so people know what you're talking about. Then you're going to give a bunch of support for whatever it is you've begun to talk about. If it's details of a story or details of an argument, that all belongs in your body. And then you have a conclusion, a sign-off to some extent, to let people know you're done. And in some way, an essay is a little bit of a circle because you start with your introduction and you give the body, you explain everything that you want to explain, and when you get to the conclusion, you're essentially coming back full circle to really emphasize what it was you wanted to talk about and make sure everyone has understood your points at the end. So that's the way a 5-paragraph essay is going to work. Now, I want to back up for a second and take a look at the structure of a basic paragraph because there are a lot of parallels. So, a single paragraph, and I happen to have an example here. Let's just take a look at it. Okay, so I'm just going to read this quickly. When I was growing up, my older brother Joe was the greatest person in my world. If anyone teased me about my braces or buck teeth, he fiercely defended me. When one boy insisted on calling me Fang, Joe threatened to knock his teeth out. It worked. No more teasing. My brother always chose to play me on his baseball teams, though I was a terrible hitter. Even after he got his driver's license, he didn't abandon me. Instead, every Sunday, the two of us went for a drive. We might stop for cheeseburgers, go to a computer showroom, drive past some girl's house, or just laugh and talk. It was one of childhood's mysteries that such a wonderful brother loved me. All right, now let's just look at the pieces of this essay. Not essay. Let's just look at the pieces of this paragraph. This first sentence, when I was growing up, my older brother Joe was the greatest person in my world. That's a topic sentence. That one sentence tells us what the rest of the paragraph's going to be about. So everything else that we encounter from this point forward explains how Joe was the greatest person in his world. So we have, he defended him when people teased him. He always picked him on his baseball team. Even after he got his driver's license, he kept coming around and taking his brother for drives and hanging out with him. All of these things that show in what way Joe was the greatest person in his world, that's your body. It's evidence, it's support for that topic sentence. And then this last one, it was one of childhood's mysteries that such a wonderful brother loved me. That is your concluding sentence. And do you see how, like I was saying with an essay, we've kind of come full circle here. My brother Joe was the greatest person in my world. It was one of childhood's mysteries that such a wonderful brother loved me. We're back to the idea that Joe was a pretty wonderful brother. So we've come all the way around. Now the parallels with the essay, I'm sure you have spotted, that topic sentence is like an introductory paragraph. It's like the introduction. And all of these sentences that explain how great Joe was, they are the body. Just like in an essay, you would have 3 body paragraphs in your 5-paragraph essay. We have multiple sentences to support the topic sentence. They provide the body of the paragraph the same way your body paragraphs provide the body of your essay. And then this concluding sentence is like the conclusion. So, I know it's writing, but it's actually very mathematical. You have all of these pieces, and they fit together beautifully in the paragraph, and all of the paragraphs fit together beautifully in the essay. It's a lot like building with Legos, and there are particular ways that when you put them together, it works.